Hi, Facebook family. Hi, YouTube. Welcome. It's Monday. Here in Georgia, it's kind of rainy, but it's also kind of nice because it's not so hot. So I hope you guys are having a good Monday as well. I'm going to get started in a second. Let me share around to the groups. And tonight we're going to talk about, as you see the title, why I failed. So we're going to get into that in about a second. My phones are ringing. Stop calling. I'm live. All right, let me go do that. And of course, as you guys know, my dog is up tapping around and just decided literally just now to get up as soon as I started the live. So go figure, right? Totally crazy. So welcome. I'm happy you guys are joining me. Hey, Harry. Hey, Rochelle. Thank you, Harry. So tonight I want to talk about why I failed and what that has to do with manifesting, right? Because I think it's important that you guys know that everything wasn't easy, everything wasn't simple for me to get to where I am today. It was definitely a journey I would not trade for anything else in the world. Let me just start off by saying that, but definitely not an easy one. So let's talk about a couple of things. When I talk about why I failed, what I mean by that, let me preface that for those of you who don't know me and those of you who haven't known me for a while. So what I consider quote unquote a failure was losing my brick and mortar business that I started, losing my home that went into foreclosure, losing sort of my relationship, broke up after 9 years, as well as filing bankruptcy. So I think as people consider failure or consider failing, they would consider that pretty much failing, right? That would probably go under the category as, yeah, you messed some things up kind of thing. And let me say that those things happened to me in a matter of 3 to 6 months. All of those things happened at the same time. So I don't want to talk about the nuances of why, but I want to talk about the big picture of why that failed and why I believe it failed and what that has to do with manifesting and what that has to do with where I am today. During that time, I was definitely a different person. The way I viewed the world was differently. You know, I suffered from a lot of mental stuff I think a lot of people suffer from, especially us women. You know, one of the things that for me is I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I knew I wanted to start a business and I wanted to have my own. I've worked for people long enough to know, okay, this really doesn't fit who I am. It doesn't give me enough freedom and it doesn't give me enough creativity. So I knew that, but I didn't know exactly what I should do. I wasn't sure where I should play as an entrepreneur. So I started the company that I had. I bought into a franchise. And what I will tell you is the reason why I did that was because I felt like I couldn't do it on my own, in the sense that I didn't have good enough ideas that I could actually make it work. So I felt like, well, if I bought a franchise, they have a turnkey system, they have a proven system, so it wasn't going to fail. And I smile. Because see, what I know is that when God has a plan for you, if you kind of deviate from what your design and what your sole purpose is, oh, it's going to fail. I don't care how foolproof it is for somebody else. For you, it will fall. It will fail because that's not where you're supposed to be. So for me, it failed. It totally bombed. And it was because of the fact, like I said, that wasn't where I was supposed to be. It totally was not where I was supposed to be at all. So I didn't have the courage and I didn't have the faith in myself and my ability that I could do this, that I could really step out on my own and that I could make a business that worked. So I doubted myself. I doubted my abilities. The other thing that happened for me is that I was so afraid. I was afraid of, if I did my own thing, if I created my own business, what would people say? What would people think of me? What was going to happen? I felt all eyes were going to be on me. I was going to be really, really visible, and people were going to judge me. And I wasn't sure that I could handle that. And at that time, I absolutely couldn't handle it. That I can tell you for sure, standing here today or sitting here today in who I am, that I couldn't have handled that then because I wasn't ready. I really, really was not ready because the fear was just not there. And then there was the other things that kept me and helped me to fail was the messages that I had been given all my life, and they were given out of love. So I'm not downing anyone who's ever given me this message before, but it was like that I had to get a job and I had to work hard and I had to have that security in order for me to have a good life or to be happy. That didn't work for me. I'm not saying it doesn't work for other people, but what I know is it didn't work for me. I'm a true entrepreneur in my spirit. There's my dog. So that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me to follow somebody else's policy that I don't believe in, to work in a system that's based on politics that I don't buy. I needed to create my own because I had a message to share with other people, but I didn't believe the message. You know, I always believe that we're given insight. Sometimes it comes as a whisper. Sometimes it comes as a feeling of that you should be doing something different. But I was hard-headed and I didn't listen. I kept saying, no, 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 you can't mean me. It's got to be her. It's got to be him. It's got to be somebody else that you're talking about. There's no way in the world that you're talking to me. I did not believe that I had a special message or a gift that needed to be shared with other people. So those are the reasons that I failed, because I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening to who I was. I was listening to God, the divine, who knows everything. I was like, oh, no, no, you messed that up. I know you're not talking to me. And I didn't listen to my heart. You know, I really didn't listen to any of those things. And the signs along the way as I'm building out the business and doing a whole bunch of other things that were there. I didn't listen because I was afraid. What would happen if they were right? Because I didn't know what else to do. And I wasn't ready to stand out on my own and to share my gifts and talents with the world. I was ready just to follow and do what someone else told me to do. That was comfortable for me. That's what I knew. That's the way I was raised. So I stood in fear for a very long time. And like I said, I'm hard-headed. So God was like, okay, you're not getting the hint here, LaShonda. So we have to get you to see the vision, the picture here. So I had to lose everything. I had to let everything fail. Everything. And I will tell you, this was the first time in my life that everything failed. All at one time. Have I broken up with relationships? Sure, no question. But to lose my house that I bought and paid for, to lose my business, to file bankruptcy, yeah, those things had never happened to me before. So it was devastating to me, absolutely devastating to go through that experience. You're talking about low? Oh yeah, I was very, very low. I went, you know, after I lost everything, I had to move into an apartment. And thank God I found one that would accept me with the bankruptcy and everything else. I probably went in there and probably cried because at that moment I didn't have filter and I was just a mess. And so they gave me an apartment and I got a job at an old agency that I had worked for. And I just sat. There were days I went to work, I came home, I laid in the bed until I fell asleep. And those were days, and those were weeks, and those were months, because I couldn't figure out how I was going to get up from this place where I had fallen so low. I couldn't figure my way out. But here's the good thing. Here's the awesome thing. The divine never gives up on us, never just leaves us. When you ask a question, God always, always answers. And so finally, one day I asked the question, how the hell do I get out of this mess? How do I not live like this for the rest of my life? Because somewhere in there, in my heart and in my soul, there was still that desire that there's more for you. There's more out there for you. And so I asked the question to the divine. And of course, I got an answer. You know, for me, here's what the solution was for me. It was a 3-part solution that I want to share with you guys. So if you're going through anything like this, or you're at a job and you're realizing that this isn't where you should be, let me share some insight here. So you don't have to go as far down as I went. I want people to avoid where I went, so you don't have to get knocked in the head. And hopefully you're not as hard-headed as I was in this situation. But what I learned was I had to get connected with myself. I had to really go inside and say, who am I? Who do I want to be? Who am I now? And who do I want to be? Because there was a gap in there. There was definitely a gap in there. I had been living so long, doing what other people told me, working as an employee, following the directions, but there was something more. There was something better I wanted to step into. And I wanted to step in the better part of who I was. And so God got me clear that I needed to get connected to who I am and what makes me special and what makes me unique and what gifts and talents that were laid on me. And that's exactly what I did. So I went back to scratch. I went back to taking care of myself. I went back to doing all the things that I've done with clients for years, for over 20 years. I have helped clients out of their situation to grow and reach their goals and obtain the life that they desired. But I hadn't done it for myself because I was too afraid. I was too scared. So I spent some time with me, relearning who I am and who I wanted to be and how do I get me to that place. So I learned and worked on my courage, and I worked on my strengths and building up my strength and my armor, and especially my spiritual gifts and talents. And I spent years doing that. And now I'm here doing a business that I absolutely love with clients I absolutely love, which I get to pick them out. I've worked for years where people handed me clients and I didn't have a choice. Now I get to handpick my clients and work with those who I know that I can help and they know that I can help them. It's an awesome, awesome arrangement. I get to set my own schedule according to what my family wants to do and how we want to live. And I get paid for it. And I set the rules. It's my company. I get to set the rules, so it's an awesome thing. But it took me a while to get here. And I want you to know that if I can do it, you can do it too. Because we all have something special about us that's put in us, that is divinely given to us, for us to do. It's what we were born to do. We have special people that we were born to serve on this planet. So you need to understand and know that. And I know it may be scary, trust me. I know. I ran away for years about that and not listening and not paying attention to that. So I get that it can be scary. But here's another big thing that I did. As well as building up myself, there were things I didn't know. There were honestly things I didn't know about being an entrepreneur or how to be a successful entrepreneur for that matter. You know, so I went and I learned. I got help. I realized that's where my strength lied. That's where my courage came in, that I had to ask for help. So I went to webinars, to retreats, to resources, to all of this stuff and got a coach and got a mentor, somebody who could work with me. And I have a few that do different things that can work with me. Because here's what I know. If I want someone to buy my services, then I should be able to invest in someone else. If I want someone to pay for my coaching services, then I should also be able to pay for a coach. You have to invest in your business if you want it to grow. It's just that simple. So depending on where you are, you may be able to only invest time. Other times you may be able to invest time and money. It just depends on where you are and who you find to help you along the way. So because this has been very much life-changing, obviously, for me, it is my mission, really my mission this year, is to help as many women as I can, and men too who want to come along, and get you to where you're living your dream, where you're doing your purpose work, where you're doing work that you're like, oh, this is it. You're excited, you're fulfilled, you could go on. You wake up every day with ideas and creativity, and you can put them to work, and you've got a team and you've got support around you that can help you implement that. That is my goal, is to help women transition from the jobs that you can't stand, that you're stuck in, that you feel like is sucking the life out of you, to the business that really fulfills your soul. And to kick this all off, I am doing a summit this summer. It starts July 11th. If you guys have seen my cover picture, that is exactly what it is. I have been blessed to meet some phenomenal women that will share their expertise of how they are running their business, how they created their business, how they found their passion, how they dealt with the emotional stuff that stops us from doing our business. And the cool part about this is because these women have really decided to do a favor for me. They have totally decided that they said, you know what, LaShonda, we're going to help you out. And so they've decided to do this summit for me for free. They are offering it to you for free. They're offering their resources. They're offering their services absolutely free to all of you, because they've joined my mission to say that we don't want women to keep suffering. We don't want you to stay stuck. Hey, how are you, Darlinia? So we don't want people to stay stuck in positions that you can't stand, because we're not meant to just get by and to settle. We're here to thrive and to create and to build. And women, we are so powerful. Oh my goodness, we're so powerful. And it's time that we take our power. It's time that we show how to move in this world and how to create this feminine energy that really transforms some things for ourselves, for our families, and for the world. So it's time. I'm calling you out. I'm asking you to step up and to step into who you're meant to be at this moment in time. So you guys have to join the summit. I think it'll be awesome. And I normally don't tell you guys what to do, but I'm telling you right now, this summit is awesome. If I do say so myself, these women are just phenomenal. And I posted the link to the summit. You can register for free. That way you'll get all the emails, all the contact information, all that you need to be a part of this summit. And here's the thing. If you know somebody who really can't stand their job, who's like, you know, I really want to do something else, but I'm not sure what to do, or I'm not sure if I can do it, share the link with them. Be a good friend. You know, we always share movies. We always share food. Okay. Share something that can really transform somebody's life. Share something that can really make a major difference in their life that has no negative side effects. Share this information about this summit so that they can hear some other women who have gone through some miraculous things, have miraculous stories to tell you, to share insight and input and things that you can do right now. And many of them don't cost a lot of money, by the way. So these women have dug deep to share themselves with you, but also to share some resources with you that you can use right now. So I'm telling you, this summit is really, really good. And it's not overwhelming, because I don't like being overwhelmed, and I don't like to have to listen to 50 million people all day. I know you guys are busy just like I am. So it's easy and it's manageable. So the link is there. I'm going to be posting about it until we get started. I hope you women are having, and men, because Harry joined me earlier, having a phenomenal, phenomenal night. Join this summit, share this video, share the link to the summit with some other women. Be of real service to the friends that you say that you care about. Give them something they need, even if it's not this. I challenge you today to give them something that they need, something that will really improve their life. Until next week, have an awesome, awesome week. Take care. Bye.